Next up, I just want to introduce somebody from a hockey player from New York. You got to know who he is, but he is our CEO of EXP World Holdings. And when I met Jeff, I'm an ex-bean counter. He kind of got that in the board of directors with me and everybody on the board. But I want to talk about Jeff a little bit because when he came in, he kind of looked at us realtors kind of like, who are you dudes? And he came to one of these events 2 years ago, and I can remember him, everything, he goes, this is different. This is different. Here's what he told me just yesterday. He said, everybody, Gene, is hugging you as they go, they're taking pictures. And when our CEO, right, you told me this, when Glenn's walking down, people are going by going, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can I take your picture? And they're doing that to me and Brent and everybody. He goes, I've never been at a company where they thank the CEO. You think of that. What was your corporate world like, right? So he understands us now. He's become a great friend and somebody who's going to take us to another level for EXP World Holdings, Mr. Jeff Whiteside.
Thanks, Gene. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Good morning, everybody. I think there's an elephant in the room, right? And what it is, when I arrived in Cabo, everybody's asking me questions. They're really, really concerned. You know, what's going on? What's going on? And I understand because they're saying, why do we let Dave Kennard wear shorts? Right? Why do you let that happen? And so Glenn and I talked about it. We're going to stop it after today. So what I'd like to do, though, is kind of also address the stock, okay? So I'm going to show you today why the company's so solid, based on what we've done, not necessarily of what we say we're going to do in the future, but it's a solid company. The fundamentals are very strong, right? And to put it in perspective, I looked at the chart this morning. Not that I look at it I check it out the odd time. But in 52 weeks, the stock's gone from $4 post-split to $37. The valuation of the company has gone from about $600 million to $5.3 billion, okay? So Glenn and I, we do not encourage anybody to buy. We don't encourage people to sell. When it went way up, we're all happy, but we're not saying you guys, this is us. But we've done a phenomenal, you've done a phenomenal job, actually, and I'm going to show you how it translates into the financials. Okay. All right, so when I came here in 2018, we were pretty much a U.S. residential real estate company, okay? Today, not only are we a massive U.S. company and a very successful U.S. company, the U.S. our U.S. agents and our brokers have grown the company unbelievable. We had a little bit of Canada there, which is a great place if you didn't know, visit it sometime. And now we got global. And you might have heard Michael say something about global the other time. He does talk a little bit about it. So we got global and we got commercial. So today, we got 8,000 people registered for a weekly commercial course. So we're growing that business right now. Verbella, all right? Verbella is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal software product. We wouldn't be where we are right now. The best example is international. We haven't got on a plane. We've added 12 countries, all right? 14, sorry, Michael. So we got success that we're all going to learn more about. We saw a little bit about it yesterday with Grant and that team. And, the way, when Glenn talks about this, he came in with success, and I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't get it, right? But really, it's about retention. It's recruiting. It's retention. It's personal development, and that's why we're doing this. And we have Showcase and Frame, and that's going to be some great stuff in the future. So when we talk about the agent-centric value, we use the 3 C's. Compensation, I'm not going to go through this today. It's huge. So the model that we have is huge, right? The community that we built, Glenn gave me a title of Chief Collaboration Officer. I don't even think I could spell the name when I first came to the company. But I've heard it several times up here this week. And it really is about, people that aren't even in Brent's line. Brent's putting this on for us all to grow. And I recognized that when I came here. It's really special. And then our cloud-based. So when I talk to the analysts, we talk about our strength, our growth, and our execution. And the technology is one piece, but it starts with the model. All right, so it's a model driven by NPS and eNPS. And so who likes to put your hand up if you like to pay a bag charge? Put your hand up if you like to pay all the fees when you cancel your flight. All right? A great example of NPS is Southwest, and we try to do the same thing here. We measure everything. When we know something's going off, we fix it. All right, so that's our operational structure. The technologies, we've talked about Verbella. I'll tell you what, even though enterprise can be problems sometimes, okay, we have something nobody else has. All right? We own a software that is scaled globally, right? Not just scaled globally. Now we're paying rev share in 14 countries. Figure that one out, all right? So great product there and a long runway for growth. We talked about international, affiliated services, EXP commercial. So I want to spend a little time on the numbers. So the long-term value of a company comes from the fundamentals, the model, and the growth opportunity, all right? So when you look at our numbers, we always start off with adding productive agents, okay? So these are average growth rates per year since 2018. Started at 15.5, we ended last year, and these are reported numbers, at 41.3, all right? I heard 52 today, and actually the model is actually taking off. We're growing faster. So if you look at our units, 74,000 to 135 to 238, so 63% growth rate every year in agents, 79 on the units. Then you can see the volume, 20, 38, 72. That translates into revenue. That translates, as you can see, 90% year over year. You can see the gross margin. We're leveraging our cost structure, so you can see that happening. And then, you know, we've been profitable since the fourth quarter of 2019, every quarter, all right? So again, when you talk about a company and how they're gonna do in the long term, you look at about how solid is this company? And on top of these numbers, we run the entire business on our cash flow. So after we invest, after we pay all our expenses, after we do stock buybacks, do offset dilution, it's cash flow. And if you look at our balance sheet, it's a really easy balance sheet. Well, that's a summary, so that's a great page. If anybody wants to ask you about what we've done and how we've grown, it's a great page to use. All right? And then, almost finally, our balance sheet. All right? So the only thing that we have on the balance sheet pretty much is cash. All right? No debt. All right? There's no debt and there's no plan to have any debt in the near term. If we find something that's unbelievable, possibly, but we're paying the bills with the cash that we've all generated through the business. So that's very positive. And then lastly, we're going to report on May 6th. So a great tool for everybody here too would be to go to this site. It's our investors site. And it'll give you a good presentation on what we're doing. We update it all the time. Courtney's done a fantastic job with the brand, updating it. We report May 6th, Q1, all right? And what I can tell you is we are heavily, heavily aligned with Brent, Gene, the team, everybody here on growth. And when they ask what our strategy internally is, and we talk about commercial, we talk about international, we talk about all the things we do, it is hold my beer and watch this shit.